I'm quite ashamed that I hadn't until recently heard of The Reluctant Dragon, because this is one of the most beautiful magical films I have ever seen. And while that sounds like an exaggeration, I truly loved it from start to finish. That's not to say it's perfect. There are one or two things that I think could have been done differently, but I actually loved it. So I'm currently working my way through a lot of Disney's that I haven't seen. This means a lot of the films are a lot older. This is from 1941, which is actually one of my favourite decades to watch for cinema, and it's got quite a long list of directors and writers behind it. It's a very detailed project. It's starring Robert Benchley as Robert, and he gets this idea for a story about a reluctant dragon, and he decides to go to Walt Disney Studios to learn about the animation process while hoping to pitch this idea to somebody to make the shy, reluctant dragon into a cartoon. So he basically just waltzes into Walt Disney Studios, which I wish we could do today. That would be incredible. And while he's there, as he takes his journey through to meet the person with whom he has an appointment, he gets to meet all of these animators working on different aspects, some storyboarding, some doing background and plates and things. And as he learns about the animation process, we get to see it as the audience. And this is absolutely splendid. It's great to see the stories come to life. As a Disney fan, you will love it. We get to see things like Bambi and bits of Snow White, but there are also a lot more generic cartoons in there. We have some Disney classics as well. The one thing that I thought was done not that much more than it should have been, I lost my words there. We do get to see some cartoons, of course, and clips of cartoons and seeing how things come to life. Some of the cartoons took up a bit too much time. They were a bit too long, and they kind of dragged a little bit too much. And I would have preferred to have had more of the animation process rather than just watching the cartoons they created. But it's not really a big issue, and they're not so long that it detracts from the beauty of the film itself. So it's just a minor issue, and it doesn't make the film any more or any less spectacular. It is an absolutely beautiful film. If you like Disney, this is one you have to watch without question. If you like animation, you definitely need to watch it. Obviously, if you're a fan of Disney animation, this film was basically created for you. Possibly before you were born, before most of us were born, but it's sensational. I would watch it again and again, and it's just so lovely to learn about. I mean, it is not revealing any trade secrets or anything. It's all kind of common knowledge, things that were taught, but it's great to see them come to life and just to see how incredibly talented these artists were and the length of time it would have taken to create cartoons by hand. I know that a lot of studios do still do a lot of things by hand, but have to do everything by hand is just incredible, and the precision in copying things is just, it's insane. It's so wonderful to watch. It's wonderfully magic. The Reluctant Dragon is relevant. We do get to learn about that. But actually, I think maybe the title of it is why I hadn't really paid any attention to it previously, because just by looking at it and by looking at the title, it would just appear to be an animation about a dragon. But actually, it's so much more than that. And if you like the history of cinema or of animation or of Disney, The Reluctant Dragon may be one of the best films you've ever seen.